Hello everyone, my name is Tavis Millerov. I'm your local fire marshal here in Meridian Township, and today we're going to be talking about cooking safety. So this year's Fire Prevention Week theme is cooking fires, and it's a really important theme to us because cooking fires are the #1 cause of fires in America, and it's been that way for decades. It's the spot in your home where you have the most heat-related appliances all going at once. Sometimes it's the place in the home that it's the most chaotic with kids and holidays and everything else going on. So this is definitely the one spot we want to hit on for sure, because we can document plenty of different occurrences here in Meridian Township that cooking fires have had some major damage in some people's homes. So the #1 fire safety tip I have for you when it comes to cooking safety is, by all means, pay attention. I know in today's hustle and bustle society that we are all trying to get things done and multitask. So while you've got dinner going, you might want to try and get some laundry done or do something else, pay the bills, do a little internet surfing. No, don't do that. What I need everybody to do is to tap into their inner Emeril Lagasse, Gordon Ramsay, or I'm trying to think of one other one. Anthony Bourdain, that's the guy I'm looking for. Tap into your inner Anthony Bourdain and enjoy the process. Take in the smells. Do whatever you have to do in order to stay right here at the kitchen and pay attention to what's going on. If you do have to leave the room, go ahead and make sure, even if it's for a short time period, kick that stove off before you walk out. You can always turn it back on when you come back in, but the last thing we want to have happen is for something to get uncontrolled that's going on your stovetop and create an even bigger problem down the road. So the next safety tip I have for you is grease fires. Grease fires can be extremely dangerous when they happen on your stovetop. And the reason everybody gets confused about putting water on stuff and why it's a bad idea to put water in grease is because grease ends up catching fire at a much higher temperature than water boils. So as soon as you take that little cup of water and dump that into the hot oil, it instantly turns that water to vapor or steam, and it creates a huge expansion ratio in the molecules of water. And that's why when you see the videos of grease fires getting water added to them, it looks like they explode. Well, it's because it's instant grease, and voila, there's a big displacement of everything, okay? So what you want to make sure that you do is, if you have a grease fire, first and foremost, turn the stove off, okay? We want to make sure that the heating process is starting to reduce. Secondly, if you have access to the lid, all you need to do is to come up and slide that lid right on top of the pan. And I get it, it's going to be a scary thing to do, but that's going to be the #1 way to take care of that, is to limit the oxygen. As soon as you put that lid on there, that fire is going to go out. If you don't have any type of lid available, then you can go ahead and use something like baking soda. You could use baking powder. Some people have used flour before. Those are all acceptable ways to putting out a grease fire on the stovetop. Don't worry about making a mess. It's going to make a mess, but guess what? It's going to make a smaller mess than cleaning up your entire house that burns down. And above all else, whatever you do, if you end up having a pan of hot grease on fire on your stove, do not pick it up and try to take it to the door. Box Hollow, I'm talking to you. All right? This is where we want to make sure that you leave that alone, get that lid, slide that on there, or get some baking powder and snuff that fire out. The last cooking safety tip I've got for you this time is, by all means, everybody should have a working fire extinguisher in their home. And not only should it be working, but it should also be accessible to you so that if you need it in case of emergency, it's there. So down underneath your sink, buried behind all your household chemicals, is probably not the right place to have it, okay? Make sure it's in a closet, make sure it's in the pantry, maybe even mounted to the wall, and that's where it should be. Remember, when we're going to use a fire extinguisher, we use the word pass. See a fire? I'll pass, thanks. P, pull the pin. A means to aim at the fire. The first S is to squeeze the handle, and the second S is to sweep back and forth until that fire's out, okay? And if you need any fire extinguishers or need help with training and all that, you can always contact me at the fire department, and I'd be happy to help you guys out. So those are my tips for cooking safety for now. We're going into the holiday season. We're going to have a lot more stuff going on with Thanksgiving and, of course, Christmas coming up. and we're going to come back with a lot more safety tips in the near future. Stay tuned.